things. Like if you're gonna do a very subtle like a head turn, or
that'd be good. But like, I
mean, nothing's gonna replace like, oh, my hand turns in from a hand to a shark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Have you guys seen that stuff Pixar was putting out with the 3D, 2D?
Oh, the paper. What's it called? There's a specific short film they did it with, right? It was
Paperboard.
Paperman.
Yeah.
Well, they did like a demo where. Yeah, it was showing all the different styles you can do. I feel like that's the future.
So it's basically you create a 3D rig, but it prints out.
But then it makes 2D. Everything 2D.
I just want to see 2D come back in general, because when was the last 2D Disney?
Well, Disney Online actually continued. Well, I don't know if they continue, but they've been posting shortly after they made the announcement that they weren't going to make any more 2D features. They started posting these kind of Mickey Mouse stuff.
I saw those. Those are very well done.
They're very well done.
Yeah. We have a friend that works on those.
I love those. And like the style is like a really nice mix of modern and old.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah, no, it's very well done.
I mean, like in the sense where like a theatrical.
Yeah.
I thought they pretty much said they were never gonna.
They did. Well,
it might come back.
I hope, man, because.
What's the future of 2D then?
3D TV shows,
3D 2D.
Yeah, that's eventually. Because with 3D you can make it like mechanical, and you can have a robot do it like in the future. Not a robot, you know what I mean, like a program. Mm-hmm. It's a lot easier to do with that. But with 2D, there's pretty much nothing you can do besides draw it by hand.
Well, I think the auto in-betweeners are going to be a real popular thing in the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The reason I prefer 2D though is because if you're a kid, there's nothing better. Like a kid really can't draw a 3D character like a paper. There's something really nice to me, at least, about a kid watching a movie or a TV show and drawing it on paper, like replicating fucking SpongeBob or whatever he wants to draw.
Yeah.
SpongeBob is a hard motherfucker to draw.
Yeah. I know. He was one of the first characters I learned how to draw. Him and like Goku. Him and Goku. Yeah. There's like weird two characters to pick, but.
Does anybody mind the fact that in the Dragon Ball universe, all the characters have like two faces?
What do you mean?
Oh, just the Toriyama just kind of has.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's the same face as the guy from Time.
Oh, you're saying they all the exact same.
Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
He's also the Dragon Warrior.
Time Gun.
I'm okay with that. I'm alright with that.
I mean, Western shit has kind of a similar thing. Like everyone looks like The Simpsons now, or Family Guy. Brinkleberry looks like Family Guy.
Oh. Yeah, I feel like that's all people who have these distinctive styles that become famous all kind of exhibit that pattern where they really have a specific way they draw each gender and they don't deviate far from it.
Every show in the 60s from Hanna-Barbera looked the exact same too. They all have the exact same character designs. I mean, it's just a trend. It's like every 10 years a new Ren and Stimpy changed a lot of the way cartoons looked in the 90s. It's like, Adventure Time did too. So every 10 years or so, a show comes along that really fucks with how people draw, which is fine, but...
Ren and Stimpy was awesome back in the day, though. I liked that. What? No?
I like it.
I know, it's iconic.
Yeah.
I think the one thing they did that I really miss about TV shows, at least, that are cartoons, is painted backgrounds.
Oh yeah.
Nobody's really done it though. I mean, we have like nice kind of vectory, even a hand like drawn, but I haven't really seen like a.
Shad was doing those for everybody.
Have you seen Steven Universe's backgrounds? I love
them. Are they like painted, or are they kind of, is it like SpongeBob where they're kind of just
they've got these big lines in the background for sunlight, but they look really great.
Cool. I noticed in Venture Bros, because that's a great show. I was watching one like the first season, but I noticed with the backgrounds, I don't want to say they're lazy, but they're clearly stylistically.
They're very simple.
They're very simple, but I noticed.
That show's evolved a lot artistically.
It absolutely has. But in that first season, what I noticed, they were in the desert or something, and I realized because of the sand, I could see the brush that they used, and they were just like clicking it around. And then as the scenes progressed, like even when they're inside the ship, even when they're in a house, even when they were using the same fucking brush, like every single time.
That weird like splotch.
Yeah, it's like a
I know what you're talking about.
You showed me that before.
Yeah. But I was just like, all of a sudden, that's all I could see. But I didn't mind. I mean, clearly it still works, as far as the show is concerned. But yeah.
This question comes from German McSperman.
How
big is your dink?
German, stop asking this.
How stink is your
Every episode you ask this, we're never going to answer it. Stop, leave us alone.
I hate that guy. Room, though.
Stop coming to our house.
Just answer it and he'll stop.
Stink.
He'll go away.
What's the question?
Yeah, how much stinks on your dink?
How much stink is your dink?
In my country, I have much stink on my
How many stinks can a dink shank of a dink shank of shink dink? Alright, stink. Here, let's skip that question again.
Yeah,
we'll
I'm sick of
that. Sorry. Alright, so here's an actual question from Helgi Bjornson.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. He says, "Hey guys, how many jobs have you guys had through the years, and where they?"
How have we never been asked that before?
I don't know. I mean, there was there was the one with the Power Rangers. What was it? The shitty jobs. Yeah. I don't think we need to talk about all of our jobs, but I mean.
Like real life jobs or
real life
freelance jobs?
No. Outside of animation, before you were doing your voice acting, Tomar, before you were doing your animation, Jackson, before Zach became a child prostitute, and before Chris.
I was that story.
I want to hear what voice acting jobs Tomar has done.
Really? No.
Yeah.
I'd rather talk about when I was 14. The first job I ever did, like that wasn't just for like a family friend or whatever. It was for my friend's dad, but he invented this thing. I guess, is it cool if we mention brands? He created. I don't want to get anyone in trouble for child.
No,
I don't want to get anyone in trouble for child labor laws.
Just describe.
So, but he more or less. He had like a sex toy factory.
Okay.
This is the best. This is the most generic I can make it.
Not really.
He invented a product that was made exclusively for people to have sex on top of.
Okay.
I mean,
There are these shapes, and they change the angle of penetration and whatever.
No, it's a pillow.
It's a thing he invented.
He invented the pillow, and then Tomar fucked it.
but it's like an interesting.
So one of my first actual jobs, which I only did this like 1 or 2 days.
Were you a tester?
But I worked full days. I was working in the factory on the assembly line, putting these things together.
Yeah.
Which, in itself is pretty innocent, so it doesn't really matter. I was 14.
Yeah.
But I know exactly what these were for. But yeah, they were just these big foam shapes, and we had to put the sleeve around them, the machine washable sleeve.
Oh, gross!
And then put it in its little carry tote bag, and put it in the box for shipping.
Sweet dude.
It's fine.
That was I think that's the most interesting early job I had.
But you knew what it was for even then?
Oh, totally. I mean, I was 14.
Yeah.
I was a horny 12-year-old. I definitely knew what it was by the time I was 14.
Yeah. Does it have grooves for the butt?
No.
No, it was an angle. It was just there were little pillows where you could just raise someone's butt up a little more.
Okay.
Or big ones where you could lay back on it.
It was Tetris pieces, but you fuck on them.
This actually sounds like one of those workout things, like that pull-up bar.
This was actually a successful product. His business is still going.
Cool.
Yeah, that's right.
And children still working on their trap there today. Please call 911 immediately. Please call for help.
But yeah.
Nice. What about you, Jax?
My most interesting job? I don't know. My first job, I worked with my parents, and I'd go into people's houses and tear up carpets. And I remember one place, it smelled like asshole. Mm-hmm. And
it's because we tore carpets up.
Yeah, well, when we tore the carpet up, we saw all the stains from all the cat piss.
Oh, yeah.
And this was a real cat lady's house.
A real cat,
A real cat, 100 cats in this
shit.
place. And we tore up the carpet, and I just remember when we tore that carpet up, the stink will never leave my nose.
Just burn your eyes.
It burned my eyes, my nose.
The chemicals, It's almost like what's it called? The water that rests under, where you get your well water. It goes through the dirt and then it rests on that rock, that layer, and it just kind of seeps into the
septic tank.
No, Zach. No. There's a name for it. Anyways, it's kind of like that, where it seeps to the ground,
it could be a septic
and then it just stays down there.
It just stays there and just kind of
marinates.
Yeah, it should remind you that if you move into someone's house and they have pets, and that those pets have been pissing on the floor, and you're sitting on that carpet or rolling around on that carpet, you're just rolling around in fucking animal piss.
Yeah, and no matter, you can clean it when it happens, but if you don't clean it and you leave it, that
lady was probably so used to the smell of cat piss she didn't even realize.
She was so old. Yeah, I'm sure her nose was just broken after all these years.
The cat's fucking batting your face around.
Because I remember this house, because I drive by it all the time, because it was on the way to whatever, my school or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I just remember I finally am going into this place and it smells this bad.
Yeah.
Did the lady die? Is that why you guys were cleaning the place up? Did she pass away?
No, she was just wanting new carpet, and thank God she had
a flooring business.
She had cement under the carpet, but even worse for the carpet because
it just sits there.
Oh yeah, it sits. It can't sink into the ground.
Yeah, it was the worst. That was the weirdest job I had.
What about you, Zach?
I've talked about my job at fucking Arby's.
That was the weirdest job you had?
Not the weirdest, but it was horrible. I hated it.
What was the weirdest one you had?
I mean, I got the animation pretty much right out of high school.
Okay.
I worked that job most through high school, but that was the job. If you was work fast food, that's the job where you literally think about suicide for real. Mm-hmm. That's
Really?
not even, yeah, you're just like, oh.
That's how I felt.
bad?
I worked in warehouses after that. Like I worked in the Target warehouse for a summer.
Yeah.
And it's just there were 19 of us, but we were processing like 2,500 boxes a night.
Yeah.
The worst
And it was soul crushing.
Yeah.
The worst thing about a job like that is they have you, since if it's not busy, they have you do other jobs, which would be fine. But so I would go from like handling people's French fries to like cleaning out a fucking toilet or like a gutter. Like, not even a gutter, those little, those drains like in the middle of the restaurant. Those things. Oh my god! It's like the one thing I was like, please never put me on that. Like, you gotta go fucking do it, you're not getting paid.
Oh, you mean where all the like grease and
All
shit
the
goes?
grease and mold and fucking filth, and I was like, okay, back to fries. And I was like,
How much would
I
they
work-
have to
grabs would fucking turn to the toilet and polish them for him.
Yeah.
Disgusting job.
put a
Or
polish
the Burger
to
King
polish
was probably
turds?
like that.
Look, one time this guy didn't polish the guy's turd off. The guy came back with a gun and killed that guy.
Yeah.
So we had a policy of specifically having good polished turds or the customers would leave. The boss had a very strict turd policy. It was ridiculous with his turd policy. He would actually carry it in his coat pocket when he worked
That's
there.
honestly like a Twilight Zone episode.
Seriously, when a new like employee would be there, he'd walk over with a suit with a cigar, and the boss would pull out and turn out his pocket. He's like, "This was the first turd I ever polished. This is the standard of this restaurant." And put it back into his
That's
jacket
such a
pocket.
horrible nightmare world you just created.
That's real. That's
These
real.
fucking rich businessmen walk into an Arby's and they find polished turds and suck them up their ass and leave and
I
pay.
was totally. You had that last part. I was totally PC about it.
What else are they gonna do with the polished turds?
Kiss him. Good luck. Break him in half.
They could go to Ireland
Like a
for a
wishbone.
Blarney Stone.
Put them back up their butt
All right.
for storage.
Sorry. What, Chris? You go.
The only job I've ever had. Well, okay, so when I was small, I worked for my dad in his warehouse up until I
Why'd you
got.
use that
You're
word?
small. It's like
Yeah,
you're like
why'd you
3
use that
years
word?
old.
You're
Like,
small.
How small were
Because he
you?
used to get me helping him whenever he could. I just remember. He wasn't bad or anything. He's just like, Chris, come help me. I'm like, all right.
So he put you in
he
chains.
used you as like a doorstop.
No.
You know.
He's like, carry this box up the stair. I'm like, okay. I've got a really weird memory where when I was a baby, my dad picked me up by the head and put me on the couch.
Like one-handed.
That's a lie.
One-handed palming.
His dad picked up on the head. His Chris's fucking mushy head sort of came again. His dad freaked out and threw him on the ground.
Body fell off my head, stayed in place,
Yeah.
and sewed it back on.
What's
This
your
is before
dad
Mom got
like?
home.
Because I remember hearing your mom on Skype and she sounds just like female you.
Yeah?
His
So
dad
what's your
looks
dad
just
like?
like him.
No, he
Really?
doesn't.
They were
He walks
very
around-
pleasant. They visited. They were very nice.
My dad looks like a vampire.
His dad looks like him with a Guitar Hero shirt and everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm wearing, this is from GameStop.
Is it really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Can I say, Chris, you know what person I know? I don't know any like brand shirts. You have a Guitar Hero. You have like what were you wearing yesterday?
I forget. I've
Hero,
got
yeah.
I've got a million shirts I bought when I was 16 in Hot Topic when I visited America, and I still wear
I
them.
don't think I have one shirt that has like a thing on it, like one of those.
That's
You
because
were-
you're-
I have a Breaking Bad Los Poyos Hermanos shirt.
I don't know if it
That's the only one I
exists,
have.
but if it does, I will pay someone who's listening right now to send Zach a pair of Sonic the Hedgehog
Give me a try.
tighties where the little logo of Sonic, you know, he's in that ring
Yeah.
at the beginning of the game. It's like right over his wiener.
Or asshole.
Or asshole. Yeah.
Probably make that.
And then you can stick your wiener out, kind of like he does when he comes out of the
What's
thing.
the bounty on that?
Probably like
$10.
$1,000.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
No way.
If it was over your asshole, you could cut a little slit and you could poop and it would come out of his little thing, like a little hole.
I never get served alcohol when I wear these shirts.
Really?
Why?
Yeah.
It's because you wear shirts a 14-year-old wear.
Yeah, I know. But I like it though.
And whatever makes you comfortable, Chris.
I like wearing fucking
Probably see your bedroom.
shitty fucking Guitar Hero shirts and Halo 3 shirts.
20
You have a Halo 3 shirt?
Yeah, I was wearing that the
Oh
other
my
day.
God.
I've got a fucking PlayStation. These are all from GameStop and Hot Topic.
Chris,
right
you're
here.
the corner city.
Like my
Yeah.
initials spell MC, something like that. Some fucking gay.
Yeah.
Chris has a Stu Griffin shirt where he has like bling on.
I do have Family Guy underpants.
No, you don't.
I do. And I've got SpongeBob underpants.
Oh, cool.
SpongeBob
That I believe.
pajamas. I've got lots of different
Now, do your
underpants.
SpongeBob underpants look like his pants? Like, is it just brown with some pockets on the sides?
They're brown, alright, but
Chris, are you?
no, they're just
It's more like a yellowy spot.
Yeah, there's yellow on there too.
okay. So they were white, they're brown and yellow, and I just call it my SpongeBob underpants.
They were white.
Gross.
And also damp, like they've really.
But that does lend it. It never occurred to me until now that SpongeBob is just all like potty colored.
Yeah.
Like, you'll see in a
Swamp ass, he's
Yeah,
swamp ass
and then his
character.
eyes with his nose looks like a dick and balls. Fucking, you were a
You're a
pervert.
pervert.
What are you talking about?
Hate
That's
this
what it looks
pervert.
like. Don't ignore the truth.
Yeah,
Face it.
And Patrick
Open
looks
your
like
eyes.
a big butthole.
Yeah. Patrick's a big starfish.
He's a star.
He's the big
Five
starfish.
dicks glued
Yeah, see?
Whoa.
Oh my god.
dicks glued together.
That's right. Dick and
The
starfish.
mad scientist got together.
Done.
So there's a pink starfish and poopy colors. Mm-hmm. There's some.
So what's Squidward?
obvious.
Squidward's a big butt plug. Yeah, I said it. A big blue butt plug.
And Mr. Krabs, come on, guys. We can get more obvious.
No, Squidward. Have you ever seen that video where the Japanese girl pushes a squid out of her pussy?
No.
That's what
That's
Squidward
been a-
is.
Yes,
I thought that was an
Men in
eel.
Black, Chris.
Oh, you're right.
It's not real.
That
No.
was an eel, though.
No, there was an octopus girl too.
Really? I
Yeah.
don't think I've seen the octopus.
Ew. Can you imagine that? Like, you pull down their pants and there's just like a fucking squid tentacles
Blue
coming
squid.
out.
No,
What,
okay.
what would a blue squid be a sexual innuendo for?
I told you a butt plug.
A blue. It sounds like a sexual.
Dude, he has a big fucking head too. Let me show you my blue.
squid.
That's a busted ass blue pussy.
It just it just sounds like a rotten old pussy.
Ew.
I don't know if I said this already.
What was the question again? What problem?
It was the jobs. It was the jobs.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I said it already, but did I mention that I worked at a strip joint?
Really?
No.
Oh, I guess I haven't. All right. I
Were you
worked
the stripper?
no. I worked as
okay.
I was
Bouncer?
a doorman.
Oh, I knew it.
Which is slash the initial bouncing. It's like phase. It's like the pre-bouncer.
Yeah.
Because they actually have the real bouncers inside. Those guys got like tasers and shit. In case people go like wild on the girls, they need to be like pull them off and shit. But it was in Washington, so it was a dry bar, so there was no alcohol. They had soda and stuff. But
Wow.
my job ended up
Dry
being
bar.
That is
my-
some sad shit.
Yeah, my job ended up being a whole bunch of weird shit. Where like I'd also have to be the lot guy. I'd have to go and make sure people weren't like fucking or doing drugs in the parking lot. And then also sometimes I'd work the bar, which basically meant I made the sodas, cleaned the glasses, and gave the girls candy when they got off the stage.
That's creepy.
Aw.
How old are these girls, dude?
Okay, so I ended up dating one of them, which is a really big no-no.
I think you told me about that.
Yeah. So one of the
Yeah.
girls I ended up dating, I don't need to name her. She had two
Yes,
names,
Stephanie.
obviously. No. But so one of the big no-nos is that you don't ever date the girls. Like that is something. And even after you quit the job,
What's
you
yours?
can't even go into the. It was a deja vu establishment, but you're not even allowed to be in one of those months after you've quit.
Why?
Deja vu.
Yeah, well,
I think
show
that
girls
was
Deja
the
Vu.
first strip club I ever went
Yeah,
to.
they're a chain. They're everywhere.
Why aren't you allowed to go back in if you quit?
Go meet girls or something. So then like you're not supposed to be able to.
Oh, I thought they were afraid you were like a psycho who's going to come back and shoot
I don't know.
girls.
I mean, that might be part of it too. I mean, the truth is after we started dating, I quit because the bounces there are fucking crazy. There were these two guys who they said every night after their shift, it was like 3:30 in the morning or something. They'd get in their car, go into downtown Seattle. This was in Kenmore, but they'd go to downtown Seattle and they'd find bums sleeping on the road and tase them in the balls until they pissed themselves.
Whoa.
That was what they did for fucking fun.
That's
and so when we were
fucked up.
outside and they're telling me
Wow.
what they do for fun, I was like, fuck, I fucked up. I need to go. I need to quit immediately and not be here because these are the guys who, if they found out, it's not like the mafia or something like that, but clearly the rules are a little bit, they're still a little bit kind of shady. It's a strip joint.
Yeah.
Super fucked.
Yeah, but it was a really weird, I don't know, it was weird. Like, you'd do the lot and you'd see, like, the baby, like, world's best dad sticker on the back of the minivan, and you're like, oh, okay. And then,
Oh, it's I always assumed strip clubs were just full of like disgruntled like 50-year-old men who want to get divorced.
it's a mix of, like, young guys. There's a mix of, like, young guys for, like, bachelor parties, and then there are some older guys, too. There was one guy who'd come in who wanted to be, he liked being embarrassed, so they'd, like, make him lick ashtrays and, like, do all this kind of
Oh,
stuff.
he's that kind of guy who's
And all the girls wanted him to fucking be around too because he tipped really, really fucking well.
is he one of those guys who makes the videos where it's like girls like nice small dick loser?
Yeah, yeah,
What are you gonna
absolutely.
piss your diaper, baby?
It was absolutely that. It was absolutely that. And
Yeah, look
then,
at that.
yeah, and then for yeah, I don't know. Just in general, it was really weird. It was fun for about a half hour, and then it was like the most depressing thing I ever saw because it was like all these girls. You were asking how old they were, and there was a really wide range. There were girls who were like in their late teens all the way up until probably 45 or something like that. And one of the girls who was really, really nice, she actually went because she was trying to pay for college. But then what ended up happening is that she got so much money that she got an apartment. But then she also got a car. And then she also got a dog. And then she also got, so then her lifestyle all of a sudden required a certain amount of money that she wasn't then also saving for college. And then it got to a point where she couldn't stop because she would lose her apartment, her dog, or not her dog, but like her apartment or her car.
Well, eventually when she gets through college and gets a job, she can stop.
But she didn't, she was saving up for college, but then she ended up using it to create that lifestyle.
Oh, I see.
Well,
Yeah.
good for her for working so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They make a lot of fucking money.
Yeah,
They make
I
a
know.
lot of money. Even this Deja Vu wasn't even that fancy, and it wasn't in like downtown Las Vegas.
The one that I went to was like a solid C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those girls are still making a killing.
I know.
The ones in like Vegas, I guarantee are making so much money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in like those nice places.
Do you think you'd be a good stripper, Mick?
Mick would be an excellent stripper. Come
I
on
don't
now.
know. I don't know. Maybe.
You'd be a tease.
You know, when I was in Mexico City, we ended up going to a strip joint. It was a ladies' club, so it was all these men who were
Why did
dancing.
you go there?
To
meet the ladies.
It's a long story how it ended up happening, but anyways, I ended up going to this place with a group of people, and it was actually really entertaining. Like, there was a guy, like, I remember a screen came down. This is in Mexico City, by the way. A screen comes down, and they played a scene from Backdraft, and then all of a sudden, the screen started going up, and you could see, it was in the darkness, but there was, like, the firelight, the spinning red light, and you could hear, like, the siren, and then as the lights came up, you saw the light was on top of a ladder, and a guy came out in, like, a fireman's outfit, and then, like, he started stripping to that, and it was actually really, it was kind of funny, but it was also kind of classy, and it was, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't just, like, some girl rubbing her fucking titties in your face.
Mick, be honest.
Did it turn me on?
When you no, listen. When you saw these guys stripping a little bit, right? You saw these guys take it down.
Yeah.
Did your penis at least move at all? Did it move a little bit? You're like, oh no, I need to get out of here.
Did it wince?
Did it twitch?
Yeah, did it blink before? Yeah.
I think it made it may have twitched. It may have.
Thank you for being honest. So
But,
everyone give Nick a round of applause for being honest.
No. But the best part, I think the coolest thing is that they brought up these girls that were up there, and they bring up all sorts of girls. Like, it wasn't like they were singling out like some pretty girls or something. Like, they bring up all sorts of girls, and these guys gave them such a show. Whoa. And you could just tell, like, they were all so happy, and there was no even hinting at taking off like his banana
Yes.
sack. You know what I mean? Like that.
Cock.
So it was,
Taking off his
but it was still really
Did he,
classy in that way.
Shove her hand down there?
No.
No, really?
I would have done that. I would have grabbed. I would
Usually
have.
they do
No, but he got
I
his
would've
butt in her
grabbed that-
face, and she got to squeeze his butt a little bit.
I would have gotten that
It was kind of fun.
firefighter's pants to grab his hose and water myself down because I was feeling hot. That's what I would have said.
Do you guys ever see those porns where it's like there's like a million girls in one room and they all look really like none of them have ever met each other before, and then a male stripper will come in and all start sucking them up.
Yeah, I have seen that.
And it's like, whoa, dude, but
Is that like a thing in Brazil or something? Or
no,
Latin
it's not a
America?
thing at all. It's all fake.
Oh.
Because it's always like all the girls are like, yeah, this is a bachelorette party.
Yeah.
And they're all looking at each other really nervously, and none of them have ever met before, and then they all just start like sucking the guy's dick, and it's like, okay, cool. I want to be that porn actor, but this isn't real.
Aww.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the fake cab thing, right? The
Yeah,
fake taxi.
Bang bus or
No, the
whatever.
taxi one.
Fake
The taxi
taxi.
too. Yeah.
British dude.
Yeah. The British dude. Yeah.
Wait, what?
It's funny, he's like,
British dude.
This is a British guy called Fake Taxi, and he's always
Yeah.
like, I want to suck your titties.
Yeah, he'll be driving them, and then they'll be like, "Oh, you shut up! You're scandalous."
He's like, how about you don't have to pay a fee if you suck my cock? And then he's like, there's a camera right there. And she's like, oh my god.
He's like, "Get out!" He drives off.
I
He speeds off, and like all those, fucking rocks and shit spray in her face.
love when you like watch enough of one certain porn actor or actress.
Yeah.
You start to notice their quirks.
Yeah.
Like that. What was that back door? The casting couch guy.
Yeah.
You start to get to know him a little bit. It's really creepy. Oh, that guy likes.
Some of them are funny though.
Yeah.
Like that fake taxi guy, whenever a girl sucks his dick, he's like, I love it when you suck the tip. He says, so like, that guy loves us, the tip of his penis sucked. I know that about that guy now. That stuff, it was weird because it was like when you go to a restaurant and the waitress starts to notice you, like, oh no, you get scared from, like, knowing it. I stopped watching Fake Taxi because I was like, I know this guy too well. I'm gonna give him a little time. I don't want to be too familiar with this guy.
I
don't
get
know.
that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get
I went to IHOP one time and she was like, you want the usual? And I was like, oh fuck, I can never show my face here again. I can never come back here again, I know.
Do you ever see that? Do you know
Unpredictable.
that porn star Jana Michaels?
Yes.
Sounds familiar.
She's got these huge titties.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, I know every porn star does, but she's got,
No,
she's
like
got these
ridiculous. Yeah.
huge
She's very
titties.
well known.
But you know she is, right? But did you ever see the video where she's on a motorbike, or she's in a car with a dude, and there's these there's a biker gang to her left that side. They're like, guys, we're going to a porn shoot, come watch. They're like, okay, and then they're doing a porn shoot, and all these bikers like standing there going, like laughing while she fucks a dude, and then one of the guys is like making fun of her, like being like, you stupid bitch, whatever.
see that.
And then she fucking sucks off the guy, off the guy on the ground.
Yeah.
And like comes to her mouth, she walks over to the dude, just spits it in his face.
I did
Like,
see that.
it was like, dude, you're the coolest. She's
I
so
did
cool.
see that.
And the guys, and all of his friends are like,
You ever seen a compilation of like weird things porn actresses say? It's on EFA.
oh, I
video.
love this.
Yes!
Oh, man.
My favorite one's
Is
like
that on
the
EFA?
girl who's like, I want you to cut my head off like a fucking pirate. I used to like fucking piss myself.
I swear I've seen
It's on
that.
EFA. It's called
Yeah.
like shit porn actresses or something.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
I've
that'd be
seen that.
Yeah, it's good.
Cut my head off like a pirate.
She has some weird like, European accent too. It's really even funnier.
Have you ever seen, like, anytime they do a scene, if they shoot it, just for, like, a fraction of a second occasionally, if a girl says something really weird, you'll see the guy make a weird face, like, huh? Normally it's, like, in a group scene, but there are occasionally times when you'll say something weird, and the guy's just, like, clearly some guy in the background just, like, what? He's, like, stroking his dick, and he's like, and he, like, stops.
Yeah, you ever seen the video of the dude jerking, like, oh sorry, the chick is in that room and the dude walks out of like a closet and he's beating up backwards and he comes over the girl's hair.
Oh yeah.
And she starts like crying, she's like a mental breakdown. It's the weirdest video. Yeah, Jax, he's doing like this. He's tilting like backwards. It's really bizarre,
That
yeah.
is so odd.
It's weird. He's like laughing his ass, but he walks like behind the couch and comes over her hair and she starts crying. It's a weird fucking video.
Oh man, speaking of porn, Tomer and I, can I talk about this?
What are you gonna talk about?
You made a big
That
old
we
porn.
the Anal Olympics.
Is that a video
We watched this amazing. I thought it was like the most like. These women should have been paid a lot of money for the shit that they were doing because it had one of my favorite porn actresses, Bonnie Rotten.
Oh my god,
And
you saw
that's,
it.
I fucking love her.
I love her.
She is not only really good at porn, but
Yeah.
like she just gets into it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
she's
yeah.
got so much like emotion, you know. She
Yeah.
cares.
Yeah. She's got dark hair, she's covered in tattoos.
She's got spider webs on her titties.
She's fucking hot.
Anyways, so we watched this porn called the Anal Olympics. And it was some of the most fucking amazing, like, anal stunts
Yeah.
I've ever seen ever.
Like doing backflips and landing with their wiener inside.
Well, like, they were doing some crazy,
Were there
like...
even men there?
No, it was just
It was
three
just
girls
chicks putting stuff in each other's butt.
gigantic things in their
You
buttholes.
walked into the anal Olympics.
But, like, they were just, like, doing tricks and stuff with
Yeah.
them. Like, flips and stuff. Like, I don't some crazy shit.
Yeah, Zach, it's called the Anal Olympics. They do like these little stunts and stuff with their ass. Like sometimes they'll take a frying pan with an egg on it and they'll stick it up their ass, and then they have to flip the egg.
Right.
Yeah, really cool stuff. While she's sucking a dick.
Do you think those guys?
There's no dicks in it, just buttholes.
Do you think those guys were kind of light parties? They're like, yeah, I was in the Olympics. You think they were trying to like, yeah, what do you? I was in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Why did you run really fast? I flipped an egg inside my asshole. Oh, both good skills.
Yeah, wait,
Both applicable to the real world.
we're talking about porn, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, we were.
I just wanted to say one thing about porn.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched a porn like
Yes.
and then forgotten about it like for years?
And have we found it?
It's like finding treasure.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's this way. It's this
Or,
way.
because there's so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The likelihood of it happening is actually pretty low.
But
It's
if it's,
fucking
if it's a
crazy.
good one, what ends up,
Yeah.
it feels like you stumbled upon a childhood memory.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nostalgia porn.
It's almost like you like, oh, my Nintendo works. Or so you find your Nintendo in the attic. And
Yeah.
you're like,
It's
I
like
wanna play this
finding
for
a
while.
box of Pokemon cards with like a shit
Yeah.
box. It's like, oh, look at these.
Takes you back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Is it different for guys when you? Because like I remember, I think it was you that told me like
Clarify.
it doesn't matter. Like it's just like not all porn is the same. Like I don't know. But for me,
he's just
like
not
I have
really
to find that
that.
special porn.
Oh,
that,
yeah.
like, touches my heart.
You gotta look for the stuff that appeals to you specifically.
I'll tell you what. I don't think I'd ever once just clicked the video and then stuck with that one. I go through my usually.
No, I do the same thing.
Damn it!
You usually end on like the 15th video.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an
If I find
adventure.
a good, if I find one good one, I'm okay with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the
you're
time
still always scrubbing through though, because it's the internet and it's so easy. So why are you gonna wait around?
That's true.
It's frustrating when you're like. I was watching one like 2 days ago. I was watching like 2 days ago, and it was started off on it, but then there's this Scottish guy. He kept talking. He wouldn't stop talking. He was like, "You look at my fucking cup. When high school people say,
And they cut you up, they show like his sweaty face. And he's
yeah, his big fucking stupid red fucking thumb had sweating like.
There's always a buff pink bald man.
Yeah,
Always.
yeah, just a buff pink
he's just
fucking dude.
Completely shaven, no eyebrows, just red almost.
Just a big buff human thumb with
Like
a dick.
the bosses on Super Punch Out.
A thumb.
A big fucking red thumb guy plowing a chick.
Or no, from Super Punch Out, it was the two brothers. Oh, they're just fucking, they're pink bald guys. They have no eyebrows or anything.
Yeah.
And they're